Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back, Don's Hot Rod Garage. Big Don with you. I wish I could bring you some cool hot rod updates of what I've been doing to, the cars here. But I've just been more or less trying to keep up with my wife's car, my pickup truck, and at my work. That's a different deal altogether. My brother had worked with me, my younger brother, for the last 18 years, and finally decided he wanted to move on, which, I hope it works out for him. So now I got my older brother in there working with me, so I've been teaching him the ropes of what it takes to run a roll-off truck and, different things that it takes to make the system run. But I'll show you a couple things. Let's check it out. So on my wife's car, this is the stuff I'm talking about. I got this all tore down in here. I'll show you in a second. An oil cooler goes below your lower intake on the little 3.6 3.6 liter, but they got an oil cooler that is a bad design, and it'll leave this for you in the mornings. So, eventually I want to do a video on this to try to get this motor started up, but with the holidays coming up and a lot of good football on, it's hard for me to really get anything done anymore. But this is the 265 that I bought probably about a month and a half ago, maybe even 2 months ago now, but I think I could get that old engine to run. So eventually I'll do a video on that. And on this car, I was thinking about doing a video on this one because it doesn't have the wiper motor, but it's got the transmission and the wiper arms and everything. So I was going to maybe do a video on this car, putting the actual wiper motor on it and seeing if we can get the wiper motor running. I was out here checking numbers on these. I think this one right here goes to the 57. But I got one right there, and I'm not sure. Whenever I get an opportunity to buy them, I buy them because I got a few cars that need them. So this is the engine cooler that went on my wife's car I just showed you, and I just replaced this. I mean, it's just a tickle past a year old, and it was already leaking. And it looks like this bottom part got hot, and it warped it down through here to where it let oil run out when the engine's warming up. And if you can keep all this happy, it's got a bunch of little O-rings down here, and the O-rings will go flat, and depending on which ones go flat, it'll either leak oil or antifreeze. So that's one of the things that's been keeping me occupied. And I tore this apart I think Thanksgiving evening, and they make a new one where this housing's all aluminum, and I got it off of eBay. That should be here, I'm hoping, sometime this week. It was like $100. Napa has it in stock, but you can get it for $100 on eBay, or Napa will sell you it right now for $400. So it's kind of like, what would you guys do? And then my pickup truck, my gray one, had low oil, or not oil pressure, but fuel pressure. So you can see all the debris down in there. And this filter actually looked like it had been changed at one point. So I changed that, and it really helped the truck out a lot. But just today, it's Sunday, December 4th, just today I pulled the bed off of it and put a new fuel pump in it, and that thing's got power like a Corvette now, so we're good to go. And this is what I had drained out of the fuel filter, whichever side was coming from, it would have had to have been this side. that was actually coming from the tank. I just sat there and kept doing that, and all that junk come out of it. And you know, I got to do a better job on changing the fuel filters on these cars, on the fuel injected cars. They said they're supposed to be changed like every 25,000 or so, but you could see in there, I mean, it was full of dirt and everything else. So that being bad for so long actually made my fuel pump weak. So I had to put a fuel pump in it today, and I'll show you guys that here in a second. Like I said, it's all kinds of stuff that is not tri-fi stuff, but it's stuff that I got to do to keep the world existing. But I was able to get these two pieces off of eBay, and what these are is your lower slider glass garnish molding for a Chevy Nomad. They're pretty long. And these are actually, if you see where the holes are on both of them, these are actually for a 56 or a 57. 55, the hole is up here. So 55 interior garnish molding that goes against the slider glass is actually for a 55 Chevy Nomad only. And you could actually run a 56. You could actually run this style on a 55. You just have to re-drill the holes. And they got these little ears back here so you can't over tighten your screws. They're a really intricate little piece. And they take a screw right there on the inside of the door. But them are very, very, very hard to find. And I'll probably just hoard them for a little while. But I'll try to show you, if I can, on this one, how the 55 is. Yeah, there you go. It's focusing. You can see the screw right there. That's a 55 Nomad only. But like I said, you could run them. And this is where they go right here. They just run the whole way back. All the way to right there. And then these are all the same, 55, 6, and 7. But like I said, you could actually run them in a 55 Nomad. You just have to re-drill your holes because it's just all inner window structure. Yeah, so I was happy to get them. And like I said, I'm gonna try to maybe put that wiper motor on the car, or there's one there and then one right here. But see, the wiper motor's kind of got a different, this has got the windshield washer actuator on it. And you can see that one does not. And basically on this one, you just put your cable right through that little collar right there and then tighten it down with that screw. So I'll have to you know, kind of play around with it a little bit and figure out exactly which one I want to put in there. But maybe this week, if the weather's decent, I could hook up the wiper motor. And out of all the cars I got, you know, none of the wipers actually work, but I don't drive them in the rain. But it would be kind of cool because this car's got the wipers and everything. And let me show, it's got the windshield switch and things like that. So it'd be cool to get that on there. And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to put the parts to the cars, kind of go through what I got. That way everything, you know, not quite as cluttered. Because up top, I got more parts. I got parts to cars I don't even have no more. So anyways, that's all I've been doing, working on new stuff and trying to get things lined out at my work. And then one more thing. If you got an early 2000 Chevy pickup truck, like 2000 and newer, I guess. I don't know when they stopped them. They stopped running this style, but see, this pump's only got one plug-in on it. And, you know, it'll kind of freak you out when you go to the parts store, because they want to know, do you have one plug or two plug? And you don't know because your bed's covering it up, you know. So what I've researched and kind of figured out is most all of the trucks have one plug. And then, like, if you was a truck from California or something, it would have a second plug right through here. And what I did was I bought the fuel pump that had the second plug, and all it is like a little actuator for your evap system. So you know, when it's not plugged in, it's not doing nothing. It can't let nothing into the tank or anything. It's just a sensor sitting on the top of it, and it's like about $100 cheaper than this one, you know, the single plug. So that's what I put in my truck. And, you know, if you ever go to do a fuel pump in a pickup truck, mine's a 2001, they ask if you got one plug or two plug, and I didn't know, but I asked them the price. I said, well, give me the two plug, you know. And then I did some more research, and it doesn't even really matter. Now, if you have a truck that has the two plug, you need the two plug fuel pump. But the one I put in there was about $100 cheaper than the single plug, and they're both the same. Fuel pump on a Chevy truck, this is the easiest way to do it. I just literally threw the bed over to the side. You know, if it's a nice truck that you care about, get some buddies and just lift the bed off. 8 bolts, couple plug-ins right there for your rear wiring, and then you undo the 3 screws, and then it's going to ask you 2 plugs or 1. Most all the Silverados have 1 single plug. If you got an evap system, California car or California truck, it's going to have 2, but you can actually use the 1 plug. The other plug is not ever used, so you can get the 2 plug pump a lot cheaper. The second plug's not activated. All I've been up to is just working on the newer cars. Eventually, you know, I got to get back on the convertible and kind of keep working on these old hot rods in here. Because how am I ever going to bring any more home when these just sit around forever? I tell my wife all the time, she's like, we don't need all them cars. I'm thinking in my mind, we need a couple more. I don't tell her that. You gotta ease her into it slowly. So anyways, I didn't want to leave all my buddies out in YouTube land hanging. I wanted to be able to drop a video just to let you guys know what I was doing. Hopefully I'll be able to get off work early or at a decent time, and I'll try to do a little video of installing an electric wiper motor and see if we can get the wipers working on that car. Because out of all of them, that's probably the most drivable. That Nomad over there runs, but it's, I don't know. But that one right there would be cool to drive, you know, a little bit more regularly. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, there's a small video. Just let everybody know that Big Don's still around. We're just we're kind of in survival mode, trying to keep these daily drivers running. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'd rather work on a daily driver every friggin' weekend than make a car payment. You just don't get nothing out of your car payments anymore. By the time a car's paid off, it's rusted, high miles, ain't worth nothing. That's just my opinion. If you're a used car salesman, no offense, I just ain't going down that road. So anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for stopping by Don's Hot Rod Garage. I'll catch you guys on the next video.